Long road ahead. Come on in. Set that weight down for a minute. Monday had me fighting, Tuesday wore me thin, Wednesday kept reminding me of the battles deep within. I've been carrying that armor like a second coat of skin. But every man gets tired of pretending he can win. Yeah, pretending he can win. You can run from the mirror, you can hide behind your pride, but the truth keeps knocking, brother, till you finally let it inside. It's Thursday night therapy. Pull up a chair and speak your mind. No judgment at the table, just some truth we came to find. It's Thursday night therapy, where a man can drop his guard. We ain't promising easy answers, we're just talking through the heart. Talking through the heart. Some men lost their money, some men lost their home, some been surrounded every day and still felt all alone. Some got scars from loving, some got dreams they put away. Some just need another brother to say, man, you'll be okay. But we don't sell you comfort just to make the pain disappear. Sometimes love means telling you what you don't want to hear. So bring your wins and failures, bring the questions you can't shake. A man don't lose his strength by admitting what might break. It's Thursday night therapy. Pull up a chair and speak your mind. No judgment at the table, just some truth we came to find. It's Thursday night therapy, where a man can drop his guard. We ain't promising easy answers, we're just talking through the heart. No slogans, no pretending, no perfect man in this room. Just experience, accountability, perspective, and enough respect to tell each other the truth. I learned a man can be a mountain and still feel the rain. He can carry everybody and still carry pain. Strength ain't never been the silence that keeps tearing you apart. Sometimes strength is sitting down and finally speaking from the heart. fears you keep inside. This is Thursday night therapy. Different roads but common stars. Three men talking through the darkness, trying to leave a little wiser than we were. Thursday night, same table, different story. Real men, real conversation. Thursday night therapy.
Well, what an intro. And we are back. Thursday night therapy sessions are in full effect. Right. Hopefully that music got you in the mood to listen to some competent advice.
Right.
While we can't say it's full medical advice, we still want you to see your local professional therapist in the area. Yeah. Troy is a previously licensed therapist.
Definitely let me throw that disclaimer out, because
yes, sir. Go ahead and put your disclaimer out there.
I don't want to get sued. I don't think you should take any advice from anybody unless you go see somebody. First and foremost, right. Go see somebody, and if you can go see a male therapist, someone that's familiar with your background and your culture, that's the best thing you can do. I can give advice, and it's going to come from a cognitive behavioral therapy model, and that's all I'm doing is giving some free advice out. If you want to contact, I'm not going to see anybody. I'm going to refer you to somebody. I can refer you to people, right. But I'm not in the business of doing that anymore. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, since we already got you talking, Troy, go ahead and introduce yourself and give people your background on where you're coming from when it comes to the information that you're giving and your experience, your education, and all that.
Okay. I did 6 years in the Army, and after getting out of the Army, I went back to school to my alma mater, and I got a bachelor's in social work. And then I knew that I wanted to go into therapy, so I went and got a master's in social work, and I got licensed before I actually left. 2 years before I came to DR and retired, I got licensed. And I had a small practice. It was actually consultation. It was an LLC. And I, consulted and helped people on a micro, macro, and meso level. So it was helping individuals. It was helping organizations. Just would come and speak. My expertise is children, because I worked as a psychiatric therapist for the state of Delaware at the Terry Center I think I was there for like 3 years. And then I transitioned to the VA. And so they're, homeless veterans, and children are pretty much what I work with. So just my whole career was just public service. I wish I could have went to the private sector, but it wasn't in the cards. So,
well, we appreciate your service most definitely. From another veteran to a veteran.
Appreciate yours, sir.
And then, Fear, let's go ahead and reintroduce yourself. Everybody knows this, but I mean, we just got to go back and relaunch the show. So, your background, sir?
Oh man, I'm a man of many masks. Let's see, I've been through it all, from the bottom to the top, back to the bottom, then back to the top. So I've been through the struggle, so I understand the struggle. I think like all of us, we just come from different perspectives and different things. But Troy, when after Rona maybe introduces himself, I heard you use the word a cognitive therapist.
Cognitive behavioral therapy, that's the model.
Is it possible you could explain that?
Well, cognitive behavioral therapy is where you try to remap the way somebody thinks about things. Cognitive, so we're gonna the way you may think about yourself. So the model is we're going to replace those negative thoughts, how you feel about yourself, with but positive thoughts.
Okay.
So that's basically what the behavioral therapy model is. So that's what I mean. There's different models that people use in therapy, but I like that. That always worked with me. I seen it with the best for what I was doing, and I also like using empirical data. So if it's proven to work, if there's data out there that says, hey, 80% of the time this works, I'm gonna go with that. I like to base everything off facts and evidence. So, but that's what cognitive behavioral therapy is, just trying to rewire how you think about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
The man who needs no introduction, but if you need to introduce yourself, Ronan, go ahead, my brother.
Okay, fellas, everybody listening. My name's Ronan, aka Alex. If you want to call me Alex, that's fine. But Ronan is what I go by. My history is not only in sales but military service. I did almost 8.5 years in the military before I left because of a family incident, and I would have loved to do 20, but I wasn't able to. But some of the things I walked away with, aside for physical, were mental illnesses that I developed from different traumas I experienced from being in not only the Gulf War, but going into Somalia. So loss of friends, different situations where you're put under high stress, and the thing about the military is they teach you how to compartmentalize your feelings.
Yeah.
Put those in the background and we'll deal with this later. Right. We'll deal with those later until the mission's done. But you know what? They never address the mission. They never address the issues after you get back.
Nah.
It's always something else coming up. It's always something else you need to prep for. So you're in a constant state of readiness, which I understand with those guys, and why, sometimes, it's literally like a cork blowing out of a wine bottle under pressure. Eventually it's going to pop if you don't deal with it. And that's even in the civilian world. There's a lot of different job functions. Even as Black men, we go through a lot of pressure that's put on us at a very young age, and expectations and things you can and cannot do, because you're always being profiled. Somebody's always looking over your shoulder.
Right.
So in the end of the day, these are some of the things you have to learn throughout life, whether you go through high pressure situations like myself and Troy or others. Even playing sports, that's a high pressure type of situation. You're being put in a situation where you're told you need to get this done, and there's no other choice but you to do it. And those are pressure situations where pressure forms diamonds, but it also can cause cracks. It can distort your mentality and your way your process. And when you have those traumas, you start having chemical changes in your body. And that's when you have different things where, you have to realign your chemical process to help your mind get back on pace. So, and the whole thing with men, especially, and that's why I'm glad we have Troy this year, is because men have special requirements that women will never understand when it comes to high level of responsibility. And so, from somebody that suffers from PTSD, that deals with it every day, and takes my medicine on a regular basis so I can stay calm and level-headed, I'm glad we can get back into this mode of our shows where we can start reaching out and helping you young men and people listening, whether you're my age or even older. There's a lot of times where we're shamed into thinking that we're broken, but we're literally broken and we're just functioning off of fumes. So with that, we can go ahead and start talking about the different masks. If Troy has some that we can open up with, or I can open up with something and kind of push the conversation.
I think the main one that a lot of men wear is that everything is okay. I'm fine. I got everything under control mask, and the building to be falling down around you, but you still have to be the one in control. And I think society puts that on us at a young age. When we're young, boys don't cry. You're not supposed to cry. You tough, right? You're a man, right? Even when you're a young child, you're supposed to be a man. Be a man. So we're taught that men aren't supposed to cry and things like that. And honestly, like, you know, even in the military, have you ever remembered a time when somebody in leadership broke down crying? Or
No,
yeah.
no, not at all. Especially in the Marine Corps, man. I mean,
yeah.
the favorite saying for them is you can't even go to sick call. Their biggest thing is
You better
you
not.
can rest when you're dead.
Yeah.
Period. Other than that, get your ass up and keep moving forward.
And they want, I think that what happens is, and I hate to harp on the military, but even police officers or even people in sports, police officers can all relate to this. You get wound up, and then you get sent off after it's all over, after your sports career.
They don't unwind you. They keep you that tight. You stay tight.
Sports career is over, police service is over, military career is over, or even some people have been traumatized by raising kids, having difficult kids. Your kids moved out, you're wound up, and now you're sent off to other places, and you're dealing. That's why they're saying. I'm gonna tell you the backdrop about going postal. You've heard people say going postal, right? Well,
of course.
A lot of people that work at the post office, what was their prior job?
Post work.
Prior military. a lot of people that work in the post office are prior military. So they're prior military. Now they're in the post office working, and they've been wound up for the military, and they go off. They're at work. Somebody says once, it might not even be something serious. It could be something small, but it's been years and years and years of being verbally abused, being, like you said, you might have lost some brothers that you served with, and then that one little saying or that one little joke in the break room sets you off, and now everybody got to go, and people just see, oh man, this guy just snapped, but no, it was years and years and years of pressure, and then they finally snapped. And that's why it's important that you go talk to somebody. And I'm not saying go talk to, I know a lot of times guys that say, man, don't talk to your woman. Don't talk to your woman. Don't talk, you know.
Find another man to talk to.
I used to
talk to her.
I've been thinking, I wrestled with that all week, because I always tell men to go find a therapist. A lot of my friends they don't even want to go see a therapist. They think it's bad to see a therapist. But go see somebody. Don't come. A lot of my friends call me for free therapy as well too. They'll call me and then just bring up something, and the next thing I know, we talking about something deep. But
right.
And I tell them, I said, I can't be your therapist. I know you. It's unethical for me to be your therapist. It's unethical for your woman to be giving you advice, for you to go explain things to your woman. You need to go speak to somebody. But if you have nobody to speak to and your woman is the only person you trust, speak to your woman. It may have some negative repercussions later on down the line, but I'd rather you get it out to her than hurt yourself or hurt somebody else. So I thought about that all week, because I was like, nah, I do not want it. I normally don't advise people to go speak to their woman about emotional problems that they have, because a lot of times women look at you as the rock, and that's that mask you got to put on, that everything is okay. I'm going to take care of everything. Everything is going to be all right. So that's a mask that you have to wear in that house. I got it under control, because she's going to get emotional. She's going to break down. She's going to look at you to be the leader. That's why I asked you earlier, have you ever seen anybody in leadership break down crying? Because basically they can't.
They're not. Yeah, if it's an unwritten rule, you can't show weakness in front of your troops, because then it instills fear into your troops. If you're sitting there weeping, they're like, "What the fuck?" They're looking up to you for leadership.
How you gonna leave me and tell me to go give up my life?
Right.
And you acting like this. So it's a mask that we have to wear as men. So that's one of the masks that we have to wear, is that everything is going to be all right and everything is okay with me. So that's one. That's my one.
So let me tap into that a little bit. So you said you need somebody to talk to. So I'll get a little personal. You know, I have a friend that, I don't know, he kept putting things off for so long. And now I found out that he knew something 2 years ago. So a week ago, I guess he got so he was in so much pain, that he had to call the ambulance and go to the doctor. So, they diagnosed him with cancer.
Mm.
So,
Wow.
I've been up there maybe 4 times. I think he's going on about a week now. So I've been to see him like 4 times. And we talk on the phone basically every day. So so he's talking to someone. We talk, and I think when he first went in, he just was like, that ain't nothing they're gonna do. I ain't going through no chemo. I'm not going through any of that. It's gonna wear my body down. So when I say we talk, like we might talk for a couple hours, every day throughout the day. And as I'm asking him, like, well, what did the doctor say? I gotta go get this bio and yeah, they're gonna do this. And when I had like today, I tried to break down like, what's wrong, man? Like, don't just BS me.
Right.
What are they telling you?
Mhm.
So even after all these hours of talks, after all these going to see him and visiting, talking about the past, the future, all of these things, he still come at me like, yeah, they ain't told me nothing yet. I should be getting out tomorrow. I'm gonna ask him that, because I was like, well, you don't know what you took 2 chemos. They did a biopsy. Your doctor's coming in. They got it. What's the plan? You get this when you get out. You get this. Yeah, I ain't talked to him yet. I don't really know. I ain't been paying attention.
Mhm.
So why is it even if you've talked to someone and you friends with them and you know this, they still are vague?
That's well, that's a tough one because individually everybody is different, but you have to meet people where they're at. So he's it sounds like he may be in the denial stage.
And see, I would say that,
Yeah.
but I can't say that because his first thing was, and yeah, it's life. It is what it is. I mean, he was almost like, I'm cool with whatever they say. I'm
Mhm.
cool with it.
Well,
And
you
that's
have
why,
to,
like, well,
yeah.
I don't know if it was denial. Then I'm like, bro, you just kind of just gave up. What's going on?
Mhm.
And acceptance. He's like he had just accepted his fate.
That's also a stage too.
But even with all that, I'm thinking, why is it that are they concealing something so we don't know, or they
Mhm.
don't know, or
He might be trying to be strong for himself and you.
Hmm.
So he might not want to put that on you. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to put what they have going on to somebody they love. You know what I mean? It's like it's heavy for him. So he might, feel like, man, I don't want to put this on you and have you feeling away. So you got to look at it like that. But I wouldn't take it personal that he doesn't want to share everything with you, or that he's accepted it. But you always in therapy you have to meet the person where they're at. So
Mhm.
you can't like rush him along to a different stage of grievance or whatever he's going through. You have to meet him where he's at. So if he's at the point where he just wants to be vague and he wants to just talk about, small things or older things, sounds like he's doing a lot of reflecting. You should just meet him there. Meet him there and just be that friend for him there. Meet him there. Because trust me, he's going through whatever you're asking him, he knows. He's going through it. He's been played it out in his mind probably 1,000 times. And now he probably just wants to remain positive. And the main thing when somebody's going through something like that is to definitely just be positive. Just speak positivity to him, and speak like, yo, when you speak. This is what I do on a personal level.
What you about to say is what he says. He's
Yeah.
talking about he gonna get out Friday and tomorrow we're gonna go work out. I'm like, bro, what you
Yeah.
talking about? We're gonna work out.
Entertain that. Like, okay, bro, when you get out, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Because the worst thing to do is to get him down. You know what I'm saying? To get him frustrated or have him, he's already got the diagnosis of cancer, whatever cancer he has. You don't want to compound it with depression and putting him in a depressed state, because that doesn't help when you're fighting cancer. You know what I'm saying? Just be positive. Like, yeah, you know what? When you get out, man, you can't lift. I'm gonna see what you lift when you get out. You know what I'm saying? Something like stuff like that. Keep his spirits up. You know what I mean? Because he's fighting, and you're gonna fight with him. You know, you keep his spirits up. You be his corner man. Hey man, I'm in here. I'm with you. Whatever, and just let him know. Hey, listen. Whenever you ready to talk about that or whatever, I'm here. At any time you call my phone, I'm here. I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? You just make yourself available. That's the best you can do at this point. You know what I mean?
So why do you think they have that whole mask? And not just on that. I mean, you know, he has some sons. I'm like, well, you told your sons? And he's like, nah, you know, they men. They don't really care.
Listen. Let me add to it. We have to put on airs amongst ourselves as well. Yeah. You don't want to show weakness, even to your friends, because your friends you think look up to you or different perceptions.
Right.
And at some point you don't want to have that perception of being weak to them either. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why that is, because that's supposedly your friend. That's the one you're supposed to be able to confide in. Mm-hmm. More so than sometimes even your wife. Right. You get what I mean? Yeah. So the fact that at this point, what's going on with y'all's relationship as men, and he doesn't feel like he can tell you the utmost truth on what's going on and have another man there to kind of like shoulder him a little bit, and then his children not to know is a whole nother thing. You know, not to get them worried. Are they fussy types of people? I mean, you have to look at the overall family, you know, dynamic and why he's refusing to tell people in his family, especially his immediate family, his sons especially. Right. If I was to tell my son something, they would know it would be serious enough that I would tell them one thing. Two, they would be more concerned about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Maybe he doesn't want the fuss. Maybe he feels like, you know, I'm gonna say this out loud. I've said it a couple times, and it probably grazed over people's head. And Troy, mm-hmm. you might be able to say, because you've had people that came out of battles and you've done therapy with, you know, I had a death pact with a couple of my buddies. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't know if you know what that is, but at the end of the day, we had an agreement. If we were so effed up from whatever happened to us, where we would be a burden on somebody else in our family, just go ahead and put a bullet in me and let me go out. I don't want to be that. When you're an alpha male, when you're that person that's going out to fight the fight, you don't want to come back lamed of any kind and have somebody else to have to depend on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to be able to still stand on your own 2 feet no matter what you went through. You don't want to be a burden to that next person.
Right. And what I would say to that, because that's not the first time I heard that, I would tell people that even if you're breathing and you're cognitive, you have value. You got value. You still have value. You can. There's people that are. It might be some young cat that's 20 years old that's watching this right now, and it's helping him. You know what I mean? You have. Somebody told me one time, you have no idea who's watching you and watching what you're doing and watching your moves and like, hey, you know what? I want to be like that. You know what I mean? I remember a friend of mine I grew up with. I used to post stuff on Facebook a lot, like a lot of positive messages. And I had just stopped one time. And he was like, yo, man, those messages was getting me through. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. And if it's just one person, it wasn't like a whole handful of people. It was just one person. He was like, yo, man, those messages in the morning, man, I used to look forward to seeing those. And that's what I would say to, brothers that felt like how you felt. If you came back maimed or you came back as a paraplegic, you still got your mind. You still got, your voice, and you still have value. You know what I mean? You're not a burden. You got a wealth of knowledge. You've been through a lot. You've seen a lot, and you can pass that on to somebody that needs to hear it. So I get what you mean.
Yeah. As I've gotten older and I've gone through therapy, I understand exactly those points. But when you're young,
you're not.
I mean, I was 19 when I was in the military, and by the time I was in my first war, it was like, I was barely 25, 26.
Right.
I already had an established family, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, all I'm going to do is be a young guy, you know, a burden while I already have kids.
Right.
The smartest thing for me to do is just go ahead and, if I couldn't Harry carry myself like the samurai could back in the day, just go ahead and put a bullet in me.
Yeah,
I really did not think about it any other way than that. That's hence why I got the name Ronin.
Yeah, you got that. You have a warrior's mentality when you serving, man, and it's different. I got in the amount of friends spectrum is crazy that you have, because I got a white guy that was he got in trouble for carving swastikas on people's card of service, but I'm his daughter's godfather and he's my daughter's godfather, so we super close. You know what I'm saying? This is my guy, because we spent time in the foxhole. We got to know each other. You know, and you learn those things and you get those ties with people, and your mortality gets brought into is put in your face when you're in the service, or if you're a police officer, even if you black and in the States driving a car, your mortality, you know something can happen where you can be
at any given time.
At any given time, and that's stress. But what we're talking about, you got to put that mask on, because you got a family, you got a wife, you got kids, you gotta.
And that's where a lot of guys do bury it. I mean, you just take on the next mission, then it becomes mission objectives. You know, okay, I got out of the military, even though I was highly trained in certain fields, I had to go out and get a job. I couldn't go right into the same field I was in. I needed civilian search to transfer over my technology and my knowledge. So, you know, I went and got into sales. There was always something else coming up to prioritize your own mental health and the treatment of all those compartmentalized issues. You know, and like you said, I've met so many guys who were prior military that have not gone through it. And I'm telling you, everybody's going to go through it. So before you have to seek therapy, I've seen very professional people, from executives that have plenty of money, but the minute they had that empty nest syndrome, or all their kids moved out, or something happened, it's like a fuse pop.
Even civilians, like just your everyday average man. There's a reason why men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. There's a reason why. It's rough.
That's the next one I wanted to go into. It's the men are valued for what they provide, man.
So when you can't provide that it's
so what is that? Why do they get the pressure? Meaning, you have a good job, you have this, and then maybe you don't. You're going to lose it. And we hear that whenever the stock market crashes, whenever society goes down. But why is it, as a man, we aren't allowed to hit rock bottom?
I think because society tells us that we shouldn't. We should be men and we shouldn't be hitting rock bottom. And when you got a family, that's rough, man. Like, it's hard. You don't even think that there's programs out there for you to go get on, like assistance. It never even came to my mind that I could go get on. So, being a social worker, I know now, but I didn't even know that there was programs out there. There's grants for men, there's housing for men, but you don't even know these things because it's taboo for a man to seek assistance and seek help. We're taught not to seek help. We're taught that that's weak, and when it falls apart, it's so much at one time. It's like, man, I got to escape. Like, I got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So either some men run off, they run away from their responsibility, they leave and just dip and go somewhere else. And some come out here to DR and run away from their responsibilities in the States because it's hard. And I think,
but who is it hard for? Meaning, is it hard because you can't be, I won't say can't, but I'll use that, because you can't be viewed in a certain way?
Yeah, I think external and internally, you got your views of yourself, how you feel about yourself is bad and low, and also your perception of how everybody else feels about yourself is bad and low. The reason why on a personal, I went into the military is because my mom stopped speaking to me. I got kicked out of college. I messed that up bad. Like when I first went to college, I went from I was terrible because I went from a predominantly white school to an all black college, and it was
You know, lost your mind.
Woo, that's a culture shock
it was a
because they ain't the same.
major culture shock.
Like
And
I
this
ain't
is
never
back-
seen this many booties in my life.
I'm gonna date myself. This is back when Daisy Dukes had just came out.
But you ain't dating nobody on this panel. We both older than you.
Listen. This is for the people watching. And spring semester hit. I was already on academic probation. Spring semester hit, and the girls weren't wearing no clothes. They were coming out with no clothes,
Mm.
shorts up their ass. I stopped going to class. I took my chair out of my dorm room and I parked it in the yard, parked it in front of the dorm.
That's wild.
I
He
would
said, I
just-
stopped going to class.
I just would sit there all day. We would shoot dice, smoke weed, and the girls would walk by to the. You had to walk past our dorm to go to the caf, and I got put out of school. I remember my mom. Me and my mom were super close. We shared a bed until I was 5. So me and her are super close. And I remember she came home from work, and she didn't speak to me. I spoke to her. I was like, "What's up, Mom?" And she just walked right past me. And that was the lowest I've ever felt in my life. I felt like I wasn't ish. I felt terrible about myself internally. And now my rock, an external proponent, was basically didn't even see me. So I felt bad. And I was like, but I could have, I basically ran away. Like I was like, I gotta get out of here. So I ran away to the military. I didn't want to hurt myself or nothing like that. But it could have went left. I could have sunk further into a depression because I was feeling sorry for myself. And I had a tough mom. My mother,
You and me both.
yeah, she would not let me feel sorry for myself. She give you a Lombardi speech. Like when I got kicked out of school, she gave me a speech. When my wife left me when I got out the army, she gave me a hard ass speech. She was like, "Look, this shit happens to everybody." But I was able to pick myself up, but get back to what you were saying. Like it's a bad you got bad self-talk, and then you got negative. Maybe a perception of you is bad on the outside, and those two things right there can really, really put that pressure on you to break you. And I mean,
I don't want to make it a race thing, and so I'll make it more of an economical thing. Because I've seen this happen mostly, say the 2008 when things went down,
mhm.
And it seems like if you were just working like a regular little job, and I wouldn't say I'm not demeaning someone. If you were working a job when you weren't making a lot of money and you were just there,
Right.
it didn't hit you. If you lost, you're like, I'll get another little job.
Right.
It always seemed to hit the people who failed the furthest or their perception.
Yeah,
that
the
they were
world.
falling.
Yeah, the
So
world.
so why is it on those aspects, it seems like it would affect everybody. Is it just you feel like you losing? You have
I think it's people feel like they lost. Because when you lose, you're like, all right, I'm losing right now, but I'm gonna get back. And one thing about being poor is you've seen the bottom, right? Like we in a sense, I didn't even know we were poor. Like we were eight deep in a 2-bedroom house, and we sharing my mom sharing a twin bed. But I'm gonna tell you, it was the happiest time of my life. The happiest time of my life is when we were poor. We were poor. And so I've been down. So I'm not scared to lose everything.
Correct.
I've seen it. And I tell people, there's always a meme of there's an air mattress in a 1-bedroom apartment and a guy starting over. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I've been there. It's exciting. Like it's okay. I'm down now, but watch this comeback. I'm gonna get back.
Right.
Watch this comeback. Okay. But for some people that have always been up, like generations of being up, and now you're down and you have nothing, and you don't know nothing about social services. You don't know about getting on WIC and welfare. That's for the poor people.
That's for the women. Yeah.
It's probably didn't even cross your mind to get on WIC or anything like that. They got programs for you to get back on your feet. So they're like, man, I can't take this. I can't take this life because they're not built for this life. And that's what being poor or seeing poverty or you know, even if you got a passport, you get to get out and really see what poor is. And then you're like, oh man, shit, I've seen poor. Like I've seen dirt floors and tin roofs. You know, I might got it bad in the projects, but shit, at least we got heat and air and stuff like that. And we got programs where we can get some food. But for a rich person that's been generational rich for years, and then all of a sudden the stock market crashes or the housing bubble pops, and you're negative $2 million, you're negative $100,000, that, and you like, and your kids is looking at you like, what are we gonna do? And you don't know what the hell you're gonna do. So, and it's hard. Like for them, their life just is over. My life is over now, as I know it. So I'm a check, you know, and it's rough. And that's what happened. Like in the 40s, there's reports of people just going to the top of buildings and just jumping off.
Oh yeah.
Because they lost
the first crash. Yeah, the first crash. Yeah, people are offing themselves. But let me play a video to kind of add to the nuance of what we're having conversations about.
Right.
What do you wish more women knew about how men operated?
There's 10,000 times more going on inside the head of a man than you have any idea. He's carrying burdens that you don't have a clue about, and he don't know how to express them, and he don't know what to do about it, and he figures if he puts it out there and communicates it, he's just going to be shot down, called a fool, called weak, so he carries it inside, and you have no clue the burdens and the hell that most men are carrying inside and not even showing you. I wish more women understood that.
And I know I can't find, let's see, and I heard it just a little while ago. It was Goalie the Kid, and it was a joke. He said he could never be without a woman. They're like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't see how men can't be without a woman. He said, every time I drive down the street and I see a homeless dude holding up a sign, right next to him is a homeless woman. He said, ain't got nothing. So I guess, and I'm laughing because I guess when you start there,
right,
that's, you know, if somebody's seeing you homeless, it's not too much further to go.
Not too much further to go. And if she's gonna rock with you when you down like that, she's a keeper.
But I want to go another step further, because this, I won't say it happened to me in this sense, but I want to say the successful mask. And I'm happy that the fame and some of the fortune happened to me when I was younger. Like when I first got out, I was like, when did that come out? 99? That was 25 years ago. Like I got the Hayabusa, I chromed it out. I had the Escalade, I got me a little boat. But what I realized, every time I bought something, I didn't think of me. So I was like, man, when I get that bike, I'm gonna have these hoes up on this bike. And then I was like, when I get that boat, I'm gonna go out to the river. I'm gonna have a little party on the boat. I'm gonna have them hoes on the boat. Everything I said was not me. Even when I got my house, I put the jacuzzi. It went into the woods, and I was like, I'm gonna put the jacuzzi there. Not for me to relax. I was like, shit, when I get these hoes over, I'm gonna have my sports over. And I found that every discussion I was having or everything that I was buying
was for the
it wasn't about my happiness.
Right.
It was about what I could do. It was what that success do. And then it just came a point where I said, all these achievements, I discovered that wasn't making me happy.
Right.
And I said, can I give them up? And I just said, yeah. And then once I was, and people couldn't understand it, because I said, I guess someone who didn't have material things, they were like, man, I want that.
Yeah.
But someone who already had it, that's why now I'm like, I don't need it. Nah. And then I started to learn, like you said, the experiences made me happy.
Yeah.
Like the first vacation I went on, I went to Jamaica with my brother, and we didn't know there was like an all-inclusive package, and we was like sneaking in and taking some bracelets to eat. And I was like, that was a funny part. It was the fun and experience of it.
Right.
But I
right,
think a
right.
lot of us wear that, and I see a lot of guys now still wear that mask of the success is going to make me happy, or this material thing is going to make me happy.
Right.
And it doesn't. And they don't. And I think a guy told me once, he said, it's only new to the next person who sees it. Meaning, if you see my new car today, you're like, oh, that's fine. When you come over tomorrow, it's not new anymore. So that,
Right.
that accolade, that wowness, it's no longer there. It's only for the next person or the next person. And if you don't get that reinforcement, you know, it's bad. When I used to roll bikes, we go to the mall, and, you know, I change, you know, you have a thing on your seat where you put your helmet. I'm
Right.
like, why you bringing your helmet with my friends? I'm like, why you bringing your helmet in the mall?
You want everybody to know you got a bike.
That was it, because that was his thing. That was, you know, I knew guys that could spit game
Right.
in a car. In a car, or they had to talk. As soon as they left that car, like you in a park, if they left the car, parked, and then walked out, it was like they was a ghost. They wouldn't talk. They would always say, well, come back to my car, because it was the car. That was the only way you could get it.
That's
And
why
I-
cats get haircuts. They get
Yeah.
haircuts they ain't getting haircuts for them to be. I'm gonna groom myself. I'm getting this haircut for these hoes.
Well,
I can't.
I mean, but think
How do you
about
get
that.
that,
But
man?
wait. Let's go deeper than that, because that's surface level. The whole structure behind what you do as a protective provider is so that you can what? Capture that woman that you desire, the one that you really desire. You got to have the resources. You got to have the money in order to be at that
To get
pinnacle
them
of
in.
what she's looking up forward to get
Yeah,
the mate.
but
Now
once-
all
once
the
you- once you-
accessories come into it. Now the bike, now the car, now
Yeah.
the
Once you get
trinkly
them
things
in,
come up.
Once you get them in, though, you gotta have some substance to keep them.
You gotta have some
You gotta have
substance,
some
right?
substance to keep them, because when I bought my Porsche, I'm not gonna lie, I lived in Delaware. So Delaware, I'm from Maryland, but Delaware is you got Baltimore, DC, Philly, and New York. I hit every city. I was on 125th with the top down. But see, being in the military and being in college, I knew somebody in every city. So I'm calling people up. Hey, where you at?
Right.
Meet me on 100. I'm not even saying I'm in the Porsche. Meet me on 125th. I'm pulling up. And then I thought about it after I had the Porsche for a while. And I had to sell it, you know, because I couldn't bring it down here. And I was like, man, that's just stuff. And Mike Tyson had did something one time. He was talking about his, he was getting interviewed. And he had all his championship belts and stuff, and he was talking about his money. Mike was like, it's just stuff.
Yeah.
He said, it brought me joy at one time, but it's just nothing. He said, it's just stuff. He said, what makes me happy now is spending time with my kids.
Yeah, see, they don't see, that's too advanced for some of the younger guys listening, because they don't understand.
They
that.
not, you have to
But
go.
that is ultimately, when you get older,
Yeah.
that's your end game,
Yeah.
your legacy, your kids, spending time with somebody that wants to invest time back at you.
Right.
You spend all your life investing all your time to get.
Yeah.
But once you
Accumulate.
got it all, if it's not appreciated, then
Right.
really what'd you do it all for?
Right. Just to say you stunted on some cats. That
And
don't
it's
even,
hard
they
to
don't even
explain
like
it.
you.
It's so hard to explain it to a younger person.
Right.
You know, you're like, because when they're telling you and you see it, and you're like, bro, what you doing? I've
I
already
did
done
that.
it.
But you know what they're gonna say? You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah.
You OG, you a
You
hater.
got it. You got
Yeah.
it. You just saying that now because you had it, and now you know what I'm saying. You let me experience it. And I'm trying to tell them, like I try to tell my nephews. I like, listen, my nephew, my brother-in-law. My brother had to work for a company. They made a lot of money at an early age. Like they're making 80,000, 19, 20 years old. Coming
Yeah,
start
it's all the same. Yeah. it's all
and
the same.
I'm telling them, like, hey, look, you making all this money, go get you some property. Go get you some property. By the time you're 35, it'll be paid off. Go get you a house. It don't have to be the fresh house. Just get you a starter home. They looked at me like I was talking Chinese math.
You-
First thing they did, go out and buy a car. They got to go get
Troy, I got a question, and this
Mhm.
does pertain to the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
It seems as though we always starting over,
Right.
because when I looked at my white counterparts, they
Mm-hmm.
didn't really go through that. I
Nah,
guess they had already had that, and so it wasn't even a
nah,
big thing.
it's not a
So
thing.
is that an issue with
So
us that we?
it's a cultural thing, and it's cultural. It goes back to definitely goes back to slavery. How just putting on the master's hand me downs made you feel good, made you feel bad. So
Ooh,
you seen what he had, it made you feel good. So
now
what's the ultimate thing that the master had?
it,
He had that white wife. So for a lot of brothers, they will
sure.
I got to get me a white wife because we seeing what they have and we want it. We see what white people and we think that okay, because they got a nice Benz that I got to get me a Benz to make me feel good about myself because I think so low of myself. I see what they have, I want it, not knowing that this white guy's smart. He's leasing that Benz.
Mhm.
We're
Right.
gonna go out and get a high ass APR on an old ass Benz with high ass miles just to say we have a Benz like them because it's always we want to be like them. In comparison is the one of the antecedents for depression. You start comparing your life to other people. So
Right.
we're looking at
But
how
who are we comparing it
Well,
to?
hold on.
we're
Let me
looking at
play this real quick because it deals with
Yeah.
generational curses.
Mhm.
The demons you don't fight in this lifetime, your children will have to face them. If I think about my son right now, I prefer, okay, come. I do the fight for you as long as I can, in order that he doesn't need to have to do it. He will have to fight anyway, in one way or another, but not the same. Never the same.
And I think, like I said, I think we see, as you know, the melting pot. So we're looking at the dominant culture in America is going to be our white brothers and white counterparts. So we see what they have, and we think that that's successful. Having stuff, having things, that's what makes you successful. So that's why we will break our backs to get a whole bunch of stuff. And instead of, and we want to look the part. We want to look
Yeah.
like we want to look like we've made it to us, to each other.
So is that a mask that we wearing?
That is definitely a mask.
Of course.
It's what we call it. You fronting. It's a front. You fronting. You acting like you actually got it going on, and here you got all you have is a whole bunch of debt and high notes.
But the people who
Yeah.
got it going on,
They don't even. You won't
Mark
even know.
Zuckerberg wear the same T-shirt.
Won't even know it. Won't even know
Pants.
it.
I used to go. There's a doctor's office that I used to help out with, and the dude who owned it, the oncologist. I mean, it was not just an office; it was like a facility.
Mhm.
And he had his plate where he would park.
Right.
It was a years, like 10 years older than whatever that was. It was a Honda Civic.
Exactly.
And you would think
Exactly.
he got all this money, he got this, and he drives a Honda Civic.
He doesn't have to. He's secure with what he's got. He knows who he is. That's the main thing. He knows who he is, and he's okay with who he is. A lot of times, guys overcompensate by buying things because they are not happy with who they are, and they feel as though if I get this, it's going to make me feel good about myself. And like you said, you had all that stuff. You had the Busa, you had the Escalade and everything, but it really didn't make you feel happy on the inside. It was just for other people. We in our community, we put on a show for everybody. First thing we want to do, we want to go get some rims. Well, not everybody, but a lot of us.
Mhm.
A lot of us men, we want to put that mask on that we made it. And then why do we have to announce that we made it? That's the whole thing. Why does it have to be an announcement that we made it? Success, what I've learned, success is how many people you've blessed. How many people
Yeah.
have you helped? How many people have you brought up and put them in a position to be successful. That's what success is to me. And a lot of times people think, okay, success is my education. I don't want to get on my sisters, but my sisters really, they'll take out some student loans just to say they got a PhD or they got a master's degree. They take out a whole bunch of stuff. So their form of success is I'm educated, right? Man's form of, a lot of my friends were in college. So a lot of their successes, I got to have a big house with one person living in a house. I
did that.
The
dumbest thing I did.
I'm in this house now with 2 bedrooms that nobody's ever in.
And I had a 5-bedroom house, and
And
here
it was just you,
brother. I could tell you from my kitchen. I had a big island, and I could see into the family room, and I had a big TV. So in this house, because this is before my wife and me came in, I would only spend time sitting at the kitchen, looking at the TV in the bedroom. But I furnished all the other rooms. I had a basement. When she came, she was like, I had a pool table, I had a jacuzzi. I could have counted I've never played pool there. I had it. I never played pool. She was playing and doing more than me. I was like, I just had it because I always thought when someone would come, I'd have this.
Right.
But another thing I want to say is, I know you say we don't communicate, but sometimes I go to like cigar bars, I go to sports bars, I go to these places, and I hear us communicating, but it always seems, and we might even say something crazy and deep on another level, like, yeah, that chick cheated on me, but we never go into a debt. And I'm looking at something here when it says, do your male friends actually know what's happening in your life, or do you just talk sports, women, politics, and jokes?
Right.
Who does a man call at 2 a.m. when his life is falling apart?
Right. And you said you have a brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a brother, and me and my brother are super close. Now, there's certain things I can't call my mom and talk about because I know where that conversation is going to go. She's going to get straight to the you need to man up type shit. But there's not a lot of people that are qualified to help you with certain demons that you may have. You know what I mean? So you might put something on somebody that they can't handle, or they don't, and what they'll do is they'll avoid you. Instead of being able to help you with it, they'll start avoiding you. Sometimes you got to be careful with what, you diverge to, you put on people, because everybody's not qualified to help you. Now, I would tell people that if somebody does come to you with something heavy and they talking about hurting themselves, you make sure you get them to somebody that can help them. Whether that's and the beautiful thing about the internet now, we got ChatGPT, you got Google, and you look up everything else on your phone. So if somebody's calling you and they're telling you something that's deep, you can just say, hey, listen, ChatGPT, how can I help my friend that is having suicidal ideation? How can I help my friend that's having homicidal ideation? A lot of times, cats know they know do not call me if you talking about hurting yourself or hurting somebody, especially when I was licensed, because I was a mandatory reporter. I had to call the police on your I had to, or I was going to lose my livelihood. So they knew when I was licensed, do not call me talking about you want to hurt yourself or you want to hurt somebody else, because I will call the police on your ass. So, but when somebody comes with you with that, you should be able to be, have enough sense to be, okay, you know what? I might not be able to help you with that, bro, but I love you enough to help make sure that I'm going to make sure that I pass you on to somebody that can help you with that. And that's what we need to do. That's important. And a lot of times when you're in the cigar lounge and you got a couple of drinks in you, it's going to come out. Some things are going to come out and you're going to be like, huh? What you just say? And then they'll laugh it off. But a lot of times, cats, they want to get deep and they just testing the water. So they'll probably throw something out there at you, Fearless, and see what your reaction is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, based off your reaction is going to be whether they're going to keep going and going and going. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question for you, just because of something I said. You don't have to answer. I'm just curious. Did you grow up with a father?
Yeah, my mother and father still married.
Man, the only reason I say that is usually, even with a mother and a father,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird for me to hear the mom say, be a man. Usually she's
My mom rides bikes. My mom.
But I'm saying
my
she
mom-
like man up. That's
Yeah,
different.
my mom is a tomboy. So my mom taught me. My mom is the athlete in the family. She's lettered three varsity, 3 letters, and she rides bikes. She taught me how to play basketball. So I ain't gonna say my mom is the man in the house because my father's a biker too. My father was president of his bike club and they're an MC. So he's definitely with the shits. But my mother and father didn't get married until I was like 14, and they didn't move in together until I was 5. So I missed that bond with my dad when I was young. So it was just me and my mom. That's why I'm close to my mom. But my mom's a tomboy though, so that's why she was with the man up, and she had a brother that was that was spoiled, and she saw how he turned out, and she was like, I'm going to go the opposite route with you. I'm not going to spoil you. I'm not going to baby you. I'm gonna make a man. And it was some rough times because when you got you come from a 2-parent home, you expect to have shit, right? So I'm like, I got 2 parents. I'm seeing my friends that live. We made it. Now we in the burbs, and I'm seeing my friends in the projects with Jordans and shit. And I'm like, yo, why the fuck? They got Jordans, and I can't get. My mom refused to buy me Jordans. She was like, look, she said, I'm not going to pay $100 for some sneakers, and it's more than my shoes cost. And she said, look, and she had tears in her eyes one time, and she was, because I was, like I said, I got 2 parents. I said, man, y'all cheap, man. Y'all don't want to buy me nothing. And she was like, you don't understand now, but I'm making a man out of you. Because if I give it to you, you'll never go work for it. You'll never work for it if I give it to you. And she had tears in her eyes, and she was right, because my friend.
How old were you at that point?
I'll never forget. I was 8 years old, and I don't know if you remember those them BMXs, but it was a BMX bike that came out with the white mag rims, like the 5-star joints. And my cousin got with a Diamondback.
The Diamondback? Yeah, I remember. I had a.
Yo, listen.
And I don't even CW wheels. I
Bro,
doing the tricks on them.
Remember you said that.
Yeah.
One Christmas, he came down the block, stopped in front of my grandparents' house, and spun the wheel around on us.
Oh man.
And I'm in there looking at this damn toy my mom got me, and I threw the toy on the ground. And we was riding.
Oh hell no! I know she took you on that one.
I was sick, and he had 1 parent. He came from a 1-parent home, and I remember we was riding back home. And I told my mom, I said, "This don't make no sense. I got 2 parents. Why don't I have stuff like this? Why I ain't got the Diamondback?" And she was like, she had tears in her eyes.
Mongoose.
Yo, here, let me ask you something, Troy.
Man, I'm still hot about it. You can see I'm still hot.
Yeah. But hold on. Let's talk about this for half a second.
It hurt.
When you saw that your cousin, whoever, your friend down the block got this bike, right? When you saw when you saw all that, what was it inside you, instead of you saying, you know what, I need to go out and get this on my own. My parents got me halfway there. Let me go and finish the fucking race and get what he got. Why did you have it in your head that your parents owed it to you?
Because I had 2.
He was 8 years old. He couldn't even get a job.
Bruh, listen, let me say why I'm saying this. At 8 years old, my mom said, if you don't want me to cut your hair anymore so I can go to school and be embarrassed, the minute you can make money and get your own haircut, guess what? Brother went outside and started raking leaves for the whole goddamn block. I started cutting grass. I started shoveling snow. I did whatever I needed to stack up the money to go and get my own haircuts, and that pushed me down that road. What was it in you with 2 parents that caused exactly? That's the word I was looking for.
I felt entitled.
You felt entitled.
I felt entitled because I lived in the suburbs, and we had a better house than everybody than most of the kids that I knew. And and like I said, they was in the bikes and stuff. So my father is getting, I can read at this age, and the mail's coming in. He had a Harley Sportster, and he's chromed out. He's paying $250 for calipers, and he's got a chrome this. I'm like, he's spending all this money on this bike, and you ain't investing none of that in me. I can't get fresh. And this went on for years. So It's another caveat to that. So fast forward 7 years. So now I'm 15. And parents still was like, I started working at Hardee's. I got a little job, $4.25 an hour back then. I was spinning wheels. And I had a best friend that lived on the block where they sold crack. And one summer I kicked it with him the whole summer. He's like, man, listen, I can put you down with this. You know what I'm saying? You can get this money. And because my parents, I was going into my freshman year. Now I've always been a jokester. So I told you we lived in the burbs. So I was an asshole, and I definitely got my karma. I would make fun of the kids that didn't have much. So now we going into high school. I'm like, look, my mom, she flipped it on me. She took me to Penny's. Now this is back when Macy's had the polos and merry-go-round was jumping.
Oh yeah,
the cross colors was jumping. So I'm like, I can't go to school with this Penny's shit on, Mom. And she tried to get me some Nikes that didn't have the air. It was just Nike.
Come on, JC Penney's. Come on, you couldn't do the JC Penney's.
Nah, fuck that.
There's going to Chess King, merry-go-round.
Nah, I needed merry-go-round, cross colors, and polo. I wasn't fooling with Penny's. So, and plus the college was 12 miles from my house, so we also was sliding down to the college to the parties on the low, trying to. So, I was like, look, I went to my man. I said, I cannot come into school. My mom, I said, I can't go to school like this. So he put me down, and when my mom telling me, she was like, look, I'm not coming to see you if you get locked up. But my parents were so, I don't want to call them cheap, but they didn't care. They was like, look, you get caught.
They cared. They wanted you to catch the hint, and you never did because
I never did.
You stayed in your sense of entitlement. Even to this day, you can hear it in your voice and your tone. You're still hurting. You still hurting over that shit.
That shit hurt. I'm telling you, that changed me when he came. That was the first time I ever been stunted on. I can remember December 25th.
God damn, he knows a damn
It was Christmas. It was Christmas Day. I was 8 years old. It was Christmas Day, 1984.
Wow.
This shit hurt.
The fact that you remember those years like that.
It was freezing outside. First of all, why are you riding your bike in the freezing cold on the east? You know, he used to get cold.
Because he could.
Be on the snow.
Because he could.
He wanted to stun on us.
Yeah. You know when people got something because they out in whatever they got in the middle of the snow riding the bike.
It was
he could
freezing.
though. And it worked because it got your ass hot.
It got me hot. I remember looking at the toy my mom got me and throwing it on the ground like, yo, what is this?
I know you didn't do that. You didn't do that in front of her like that.
Who didn't?
Boy, my mom would have wore my ass out.
It hurt her to the core. She wanted
and then made me go outside and fucking play with that shit in front of everybody too. You don't like that shit? Take that shit outside and play with it.
When he said, another trigger, when he said trick, he said to do the trick. He stopped in front of the house and spun the wheel around on us. And me and my cousin looked at each other. And I looked at my mom. I looked at that damn toy she got me. And my mom had it. My mom worked at DuPont. I don't know if y'all know about DuPont.
Oh, yeah. You know about the plants
worked at DuPont.
Back in the day.
So she had bread. And I would see my mom getting leather pants and getting nice shit. And she looked me in my face and tell me, boy, my job is just to put a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food on the table. I don't got to get you this extra stuff. Who says I got to get you this?
Troy, that's going to take me to my next mask.
Okay.
Money is one of the biggest masks. And I think what you were saying is the opposite of what other people do. So it says like men don't always tell people I can't afford this, or I'm in debt, or I don't know how I'm going to pay this. I made a financial mistake. I was listening to one dude. It was a podcast, and it was the FBI who caught the dude. He was like in Hawaii or something, and he was doing some scams.
Oh shit!
And they went to him and they talked to him, and he said, we trying to help you out. We just really trying to figure out why and all that you did this. It was a Filipino woman. He got him a woman. She thought he had money, and he just couldn't say no. So it got to the point where he was getting in so much debt that he just had this. He was scamming to get it. If she needed something, he did it. So have you seen those type of masks where I've seen it with mothers like, I'm gonna buy my son some Jordans. They can't afford it. or
Yeah.
guys who do that with women because they need to put on a front and they constantly going in debt. So tell us about that type of mask.
Well, the financial mask is probably one of the worst masks, because the financial mask is going to lead. Eventually, you're going to get caught. It's going to. The truth. My mom always said, whatever you do in the dark is going to come to light. So that woman is going to find out that you don't really have all this money, and then what? You know what I'm saying? That's why you should never leave with your wallet.
But do the people
Uh-oh.
ever think of then what?
No, not at the immediate gratification. Hell no. They don't plan that shit out. No, they don't.
No. Because if they thought about them, what, they wouldn't do it. They'd be like, you know what? Let me just be upfront with you, because you see where it's heading to. But they just, especially, it's two sides of the story. Because if you really care about the woman, you want the woman, and you plan on having a future with her, you know you can't keep this up. You can't keep this up forever. But if you just want some short-term fun, a lot of cats put on that mask. It's a little temporary mask. Hey, I'm balling. And really, you're not balling. At the end of the day, you know you're not balling. You know you're struggling with this, you're struggling with that. And that's that financial mask. We need to put a name on that one. That's the financial mask that a lot of us put on. And it's another thing, because you're insecure about what's going on. It happens even out here. You got guys that come out here and they'll act like they just balling. And a lot of people will tell you, I had a lot of ex-military live up north. They didn't tell me, man, this cat's borrowing money by the 15th. They didn't tricked off all their money by the 15th. They can't wait to the first hit before they get. So they borrowing money from each other just so they can eat and stuff.
Bruh, you in DR, the time that I do not like to go, when the wife likes to go, is about December 15th until the end of the year. Because what people don't know is guys have in New York, and these are Dominicans.
Yeah.
They've saved up all year.
And they
to
come
go down
the
there for them 2 weeks
and stunt on the other Dominicans.
Yep, like I made it up there. I try to rent a car. You can't rent a nice car. You can't rent no nice car. You can't. The resort is packed. I mean, it's just crazy.
Out here
stunting.
Out here is they out here, and they out here blowing through money because they want to flex on
all their relatives.
Yeah, on their relatives. Why you should never ever have to flex on nobody you love. That's what I love about my
bro. I'm telling you, Filipino lifestyle is the same thing. They flex on each other big time.
I don't get that.
These nice people smiling in your face, sir and ma'am, everything that comes out their mouth.
Yeah.
But really, the shadows of a family unit in the Philippines, they looking to gouge each other.
That's what
show up and show a status at a certain level, man. Right. They do that.
That's what I love about my college, because Howard is the I think Howard is the exact opposite of my school, because Howard's got a whole bunch of rich black kids that like to stunt on everybody. That's who goes to Howard. Howard's got a lot of famous alumni, and no disrespect to any Howard alums out there, but they like to stunt on each other when they go back for homecoming. When we go back to homecoming, cats be in jeans, t-shirts with a paraphernalia from the school. Nobody's trying to stunt. And I had one friend one time. He's a younger guy.
But hold on.
Yeah.
So, question. I want you to go into the story.
Yeah.
But I'm just confused because I know some dudes who went to Hampton, and generational Hampton.
That's another uppity.
Yeah. Money. So if you have it, why do those dudes still feel the need to stunt?
That's the culture of those campuses. That's the culture of Howard and Hampton, and they go back and forth for who's the real HU. But those two schools, the children that go there, their parents have a lot of money.
Yeah.
These kids are doctors' kids, and when Del State, you got kids from all over, kids that parents that didn't have a lot. You got some kids' parents that did have a lot, some that didn't. So people are humble at my school. We got a lot of city kids from Baltimore, New York.
But I wonder why ain't the brothers, if you came from money,
because there's also people there that don't have money. Remember that. So
extremes. There are serious extremes, especially in the DMV area, especially Baltimore. Yeah, you have people that have, and then you have people that did not. So and they get gully. What's that word? They get gully.
Yeah,
when they see you. Yeah,
we're gonna stun on the people that don't have. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna show you, and we ain't work for it. We're basically nepo babies. We didn't work for it, but and I had people that went to Howard that told me that. People that went to Howard, they're like, yo, man, it's real cliquish. It's so and so's son here, and so it's too much. But my school, it's not like that. It's definitely not like that. If anybody if you got a chance and you in that area, go visit. October 10th is our homecoming, and go to Delaware State University. I'm telling you, it's all love. You're gonna get treated with so much love when you go there. You don't even have to go there. You're gonna walk around. People gonna ask you hungry? You want something to eat? You want something to drink? And I've experienced Howard's homecoming a couple of times, and it's different.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Thomas, you're absolutely right. I'm just looking at this thing where it just sounds like we have ego problems. Ego problems will cost a wallet. It absolutely will. You ain't never lied.
Yo, when he brought up DR for the 15th of December, I'm because they come out here to Punta Cana. That's also the flex. That's the flex for Dominicans. We're gonna come out to Punta Cana, and you can. Boy, you hit one on the head with that one. They definitely do flex. I'll be like, oh, it ain't even that serious. You know what I'm saying?
Here's a big thing. And here in the Philippines, Christmas starts in the Burr months.
Mhm.
September starts Christmas holiday. They ain't no fucking Halloween here. They're Catholics. They don't celebrate that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So the Burr months start right over to Christmas. They ain't no Thanksgiving. This ain't America. You know what I'm saying? They go, so the whole time it's all Christmas. You got families flying in and everything else. Paso Lobo is a big thing here. You're supposed to be bringing gifts for your family. People are sending them baklava boxes from overseas. They're getting dropped into, certain families, and they're supposed to distribute the Paso Lobos between the people, which are just gifts, know. And my lady was talking about a time that one of her cousins flew in from Hawaii. They live in Hawaii. So of course, oh my God, they live in Hawaii. They're so prestigious in the family. They live in this island called Hawaii, and everybody knows how tropical. Even though they live in a tropical whole freaking island system, Hawaii is a whole nother level, right? Because it's America too, right?
Right.
So she sends all this stuff back. So when I finally get here, and she goes, "What is?" Because she had a couple of the bags with the clothes in. The cousins were talking about how wealthy it was, and be careful the fabrics and this, that, and the other, right? And she goes, "What is Goodwill?" I said, "No, you didn't fucking say that shit." She goes, "Her family was passing on crap. Not that Goodwill don't have good clothes. People trade it in, but they're used clothes, not brand new."
Nah.
But they try to perpetrate like that shit this is what I'm talking about with putting on airs and the ego and trying to make it seem like your position. And even when she was being bullied, she was saying that, some of these kids, they had foreign overseas workers. So your mom is over there being a maid, but you feel like you're better than me because your mom is overseas somewhere being somebody else's maid or nanny. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a perception of wealth in certain countries that make you feel like you're better than the next, even though y'all still in the same area. You're growing up the same. You get what I mean?
Yeah, and that comment was absolutely right. The ego will get you in so much trouble. It'll get your wallet in so much trouble, and it's a sales thing too. 'Cause I remember going to the Porsche dealership, and I fell for oh, you ain't got no money. Yeah, I'm like,
he wanted you to prove it by just making the deal so he can get that commission. That's an old scam.
Yeah, exactly. Made me, you know what I mean?
He played you like that.
He played me like a fiddle. Played me like a fiddle. I'm like, nigga, what? My credit score is 770. What you talking about? I'm like,
and he's sitting there grinning the whole time. Please don't say it was a white boy. Please don't say it was.
It was. And I'm pre-approved. I'm pre-approved. I drove.
So then here's the other thing. He played off of his whiteness to a black man.
Oh yeah.
You coming in here acting like you can afford this. You know damn well you can't afford this, kind of under his breath type of shit.
Right. And I came in there with some slacks on too, because I was coming to buy this joint. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't really have to sell it to me. This is the way he tried to chump me. Like, yeah, it's over there. It's back over there. You can go take a look at it. I mean, it's that's how much it costs though. I'm like, well, can I test drive it? He's like, are you serious buyers? I was like, what the fuck did he just say to me?
Right.
So, and like Phyllis said, the first thing I thought about when I got that car, I can't wait till motherfuckers see me in this. I can't. I'm telling you, I got the car in Arlington, Virginia. I drove it to DC to U Street, and U Street to Florida Ave, where Howard is. And then I went home. Then I was in Philly the next day. And then I chilled for Philly for that weekend. And then I was up in Harlem the following weekend. I was like, everybody got to see me in this car. And then, you know, and then I have a beautiful daughter that, you know, I raised her the same way my mom raised me. And I remember she came into my house, she was staying with me for the summer, and I had like 50 Jordans lined up in my closet in boxes. And she said, Dad, why do you have all these Jordans? She said, you don't need all this. He said, why do you have this? And I explained to her that, you know, when I was young, your grandmother wouldn't buy me no Jordans. And she said, when I get old enough to buy them myself. So I went back and got all the ones that I wanted. She was like, yeah, Dad, but that's just like, it's like a waste of money. You don't even wear them. And she's the one that really got me thinking, you know, and then that Mike Tyson thing. But I really was like, yo, you just buying material stuff. Like, that's not what's making you happy. And I was like, okay, well, and then like my daughter was grown and I never had a child support order. So it was just me buying stuff. So I was like,
right.
I want to play these two videos, and I would think that this shouldn't happen to us. I'm gonna do the entire screen, and then I'll play my man first.
$400,000 for a car. So I'm like, hey man, how much is this? How much is this one? So finally the old guy says, yo man, you asked about all these cars. Can you afford them? No, I'm pissed. I said, what the fuck you just said to me? So I buy 3. That one, and I want them dropped off. Move the seat back today. I want them dropped. So I got 3 Rolls Royces that never dropped. So they go another $1 million.
Let me go to this one, then we can comment on it.
See on Family Hustle. That's a house, man, bro. I didn't even want this motherfucking house. So we went looking at houses, and it was one that wasn't even finished yet. And we had the money. I had just got like $5 million something, and then another $10 million something, and another $2 million. I was sitting, and plus I was doing shows. So I, you know what I mean? It wasn't no issue. The owner wouldn't sell me the house because the other motherfuckers around there, the neighbors, was like, nah, we don't want no, like, we don't want no. Don't sell it to him, basically. So he blocked me from buying the house. I said, oh hell no. So we went to riding around the motherfucking neighborhood asking motherfuckers to sell me their house. And we found a motherfucker, and I overpaid like a motherfucker. I bought with my pride and my ego.
I played both of those to say these are two brothers who have money.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna go broke. Yeah. I'm gonna show you how broke I can go.
Yeah, that's us. That's us.
So what mask is that? What mask? Because these Shaq got money, T.I. got money.
Well, that's the pride.
They got to prove.
That's the pride mask.
The pride mask.
That's the pride mask. I got my pride. My pride is involved now. Now you done hurt my pride. I got to show you instead of just be like, hey man. And I always been told, man, don't go where you're not welcome. If you're not, why you want to be somewhere where you're not welcome? You know what I mean?
Just so you can show somebody who don't want
you.
You
can show, hey, I'm here.
You buy 4 Rolls Royces that you don't drive.
Yeah, just to show him. And that white guy knew you were Shaq, knew you had money.
Right. He wasn't stupid. You coming in at 7'2", 7'4". You obviously a NBA player. He ain't dumb.
And I'm in Arlington, Virginia, which is a suburb of DC. There's so many black athletes and just the most affluent black neighborhood in America. They know black people got money. So it wasn't nothing new for somebody black to come in there and buy a Porsche. But he played on that. He played on me. And my pride got no, but I was coming to get that sucker anyway. He ain't had to do much, but he made me.
But see, here's the thing. What I would have done was I would have tripped him up and said, you know what? I don't want to buy it from you.
Yeah.
Since you don't think I got it. Give me your next guy because you ain't gonna make no commission off of my ass, and you ain't gonna get no split. So if the next guy, because I know about splits too, I used to sell cars.
Yeah.
So if you gave me a turn I had to split it with you when I
Right.
closed the deal, right?
Right.
Because you warmed them up for me. That's what they call splits, right?
Mhm.
Same thing in real estate. It's just a different type of deal. But
Right.
yeah, I would have said, no, you ain't getting a commission off of me after you talked to me like that, trying to coy me into buying a car. I was coming here to buy the car any goddamn way. But
Oh, yeah.
you are not going to benefit.
Yeah, and they also played me on the way out because I'm in there thinking, because I already came with my pre-approved, I already had the money. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get me like, I'm in there. This is my first time, my first Porsche. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna get me a hat, I'm gonna get me a bag. I'm like, yo,
They
throw
sent
that.
you out with nothing.
Yo, he said the district manager was there because he had to do the finance because the finance dude quit. And I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, man, I want a bag, I want a hat. He's like, let me show you something. He walked me to the front of the store, and it was a GT4 out there. He was like, look at that price tag. It was like $260, $269. He said, man, you just spent $70,000 on a used Porsche. He said, look, you come in here and drop $270.
We
and I'll
give you a
get
bag.
hat in a bag. He said, we just giving you this car to get it off the lot. We don't want the car in the lot no more.
Damn.
Yeah, I just walked my black ass up out of there real smooth. Like, I was like, all right, bet. You know what I mean? Because they had so many Porsches, and the deal was so good on the one that I got. I had seen because I went on the database.
See, and let me give you a little trick. The dumbest thing a dealership can do is show you their sales board.
Yeah.
Because the minute you look up and see the sales board, if they looking like they little light for the month,
Right.
you can gouge the shit out of them on the price.
Yeah.
Because they're desperate to push so many cars off that lot per fucking month.
He's like,
But
man,
And if they don't
I
hit those
think-
quotas, they in trouble.
I
But
think
people
Troy,
don't know how to go and look at things like that and understand you have just
that-
as much control as the next person. Because I used to
had
tell
nothing to
people,
do
you know
with it,
what?
Mona.
Listen,
You
listen, let
missing
me
the entire
finish.
point.
Let me finish. I used to work at GMC Buick, right?
Mhm.
GMC is basically a Chevy,
Right.
right? Different, back then it was a little bit different suspension, damn near the same truck, right? So after a while, when I knew the back room was trying to run up a deal on somebody where they were overpricing them on the down payment, because it's a Foursquare. Foursquare is a Foursquare. It doesn't fucking matter where you go. It's the same goddamn thing, right?
Mhm.
I would usually tell people, get your keys if you can. Go down and buy from the Chevy lot. Same goddamn car. They trying to run you up. I was that honest with my people, but it is a point where they know they got you and you're desperate. And there's a way in sales you can tell when somebody's desperate enough and they refuse to get up because they're trying to prove a point. They're going to keep on irritating that point. It's a tell. And black people got it. Brothers in the chat saying it right now. How to sell to a Negro. There's a certain way to cater to your personality. And the longer you're in sales, you can read body language. It don't matter what nationality you are.
Yeah.
There is a way to get that button and push
Push
it
it.
to where you ain't gonna leave. You
Until you buy it.
basically gonna throw your money up on that counter and not walk away without the item. By the time I get done with you,
Yeah, I fell for it, man.
So what mask did you have, Troy? Because it
Pride.
seems like
That was my pride mask right there.
absolutely.
That was my pride mask. You know what I'm saying? Because I should have did like Ronan said. I shouldn't have gave him the sale, but I wanted to prove to him that I had the money. But had I been smart,
Exactly.
had I been smart, I should have been like, you know what? I'm gonna come back and I'll get. Matter of fact, I should have took my money somewhere else.
You could have went to a whole nother dealership. It didn't matter. The same goddamn car, same damn Porsche, just a different dealership.
Mm-hmm. But pride, that was their pride mask. And men, that's the biggest one we wear, I think.
You know the biggest reason why you got to drive a car before you buy it? Not so they know you like it, right? Not so that you can know that it works. It's a psychology of you being in that car, driving it for the first time, off the lot, brand new, the smells, everything else. You start to project yourself being in that car and you can't see yourself walking away from the lot without being in it. That's why they want you to drive it, not so you can prove that the goddamn car runs. That's bullshit. It's psychology that goes behind that, and it caters towards what? Your ego.
Definitely had me going.
I'm gonna go to the other mask, and I'm gonna say I'm guilty of this one, but I've seen men die of this one. This is the husband-father mask. And what this is, when you do so much that nobody knows what you do, like all the stuff that I take care of that the wife don't even have a clue. Like when I go on vacation, I'm like, baby, you just go. You don't understood what went into it. the booking of the flight, you know, that every time I go to DR, I got to do the e-ticket. She just show up. The e-ticket is there. E-ticket, the hotel, the car, all of those stuff that somebody just walks into, and they like, man, they had all of their life was just taken care of. And I've had myself say, boy, when I'm gone, y'all gonna really know what it's like. And I say that because I've seen men. I knew a guy who offed himself because I think he was thinking, you don't appreciate me. You'll miss me when I'm gone. Even though I guess they're not alive to see what it is, but in their mind, they're saying, this is the only way I'm going to get my respect. This is the only way that you're going to understand my value, not when I'm here. So how do we help men get out of that? Because there's a lot of men who don't feel appreciated, and they feel the only time you're going to appreciate me is when I'm gone.
Wow. Well, and you talking about like if someone was to bring that to you, that's how they feel. I think I would let them know, hey, look, man, if it's my friend, first thing I'm gonna tell you is that, hey, man, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing. I'm gonna validate what you got going on. I think you're a great man, and we don't give each other flowers and stuff like that, right? But hey, man, come over, let's have a cigar, man. Hey, look, man, I came back from DR. I got these cigars. We sit down and bust it up with you, man. I used to bring people. I don't drink like that, but I used to get White Henny from DR back when it was the thing. And I used to always bring my bros. I would just give them bottles. Hey, man, here, man. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that somebody does appreciate and see what they're doing, because, like you said, a lot of people don't see what we're doing. And you know, as men, a lot of people don't validate. Hey, look, you're doing a great job as a father. You know what I mean? Father's Day, I couldn't even tell you what day Father's Day falls on these days. You know what I'm saying? And I used to get so livid when the women started saying Happy Father's Day to each other. And I told everybody on my face, I said, wow, if you do that on my Facebook, I'm going to delete you. And I had a couple of friends from school call me, yo, Troy, man, did you unfollow? Yeah, I told you. I don't think that's funny. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Just because you're having a problem with your father, your children's father, don't do that. Don't do that with me. Don't do that and let me catch you doing that. So, yeah.
I'm going to play this video, and I think it goes into what we're saying in a sense. And I don't think the other people, you know, I just don't think this woman got it. And this was a moment that she could have actually gotten. And y'all probably seen this before.
Hey,
I've seen this.
Huh?
What are you doing? Thought you were working.
I'm looking at this.
What is it?
It's wire. It's a spool of wire. And I'm almost out of it. Can you see the spool of wire? I'm almost out of it.
Okay.
And I've had this spool of wire for like 40 years. I bought it like this it's not a piece of a long time ago, but it's like 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone. Does that make sense? This is what's left. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm sad for you, but you're wearing your Jets hat, and I'm a little concerned right now that you're wearing your Jets hat.
What?
That's why you're crying.
Okay, I'm done.
You see how that his whole life went out of him, man.
She sucked the whole room out of him. Sucked the life from. Yo, fellas, give me 1 second because this dog, I got to walk my dog real quick.
No problem, but I got another video goes along with that too. Hold on. And you go ahead. Yeah.
Come on, girl. Come on.
Men don't show
You got
that
Frenchie
vulnerable
over there.
side.
Because society doesn't feel sorry for the man. Society can feel sorry for a woman because really nobody cares.
That's not true.
That,
You don't show it
it's not
because in your mind it's like they don't care. That's not true.
I give you an example. A girl or a woman comes online and says, I'm broke. I just lost everything. She can still find someone that can change that dynamic to some capacity in any type of way, right? If a dude says, I'm broke, I done lost everything, instantly he lost all his value. If you can't provide or do nothing for the people that you come in contact with, you're meaningless as a man. That's what society has trained us to be. We have to be providers. We have to protect. So when you're saying men have to be selfish, that's the reason. When men have to get up and do it and they don't show it, that's the reason. Because nobody ain't gonna feel sorry for us. Nobody care about you and your feelings, nigga. When your family call on you, they don't care that you got a headache. They honestly don't care that you got a sickness. You the man of this house, and you got to do something about it.
It's like, so when he says talk, I don't think people see the signs to actually pick up on.
Right.
So, like for instance, what you showed, like I'm looking here and it says, what does something broke look like? Is it a divorce? Is it getting fired? Is it bankruptcy? Is it public failure, a major transition? And we always ask, well, why didn't he say something?
Right.
And the question is, was anybody even asking? And so I think sometimes, like that man, he was vulnerable at a point, and he'll probably never be vulnerable again.
Not to her.
And I think so. What does broke look like?
It doesn't have a face.
And before you say that, Troy,
yeah.
And the reason I say that is I know we did something before. I don't remember when it was. And this video was showing people 24 hours before they committed suicide.
And they were smiling.
Oh man, it was what you just said. It was like you could have never known what was about to take place. It was like committed suicide 24 hours later, committed suicide. And every video they was happy, they was talking. So what does broke look like, Troy?
It doesn't have a face. You would never know. And that's why you got a lot of people that are diagnosed with depression and PTSD. What does that look like? It doesn't have a face, because one day you could be happy and one day you can be sad. And you might walk out the house, put that mask on, right? And you look like everything is gravy, everything's going good. But then when you get in that house, you just is sad, and you look like, I ain't gonna lie, like I lived by myself for a long time. And I used to not want to go home. After work, I would just ride around, because I knew that I would go home to an empty house, right? And I'm in this empty ass house, and I'm just like, that's just depressing. Just being in the house was depressing. You got a big ass house, it's just you. For years, I've had 2 extra rooms. For so many years in my life, I've had 2 extra rooms in my house, and ain't nobody in my. He was like, why don't you decorate your daughter's room for when she come down? I was like, so I can just look at it and get even more depressed, not having her here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that. So for damn near all my adult life, I've had 2 extra rooms in my house, empty rooms, just in case somebody comes, and nobody's ever game.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, so it's weird, and it's like, I used to not come home. I used to get off work like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I wouldn't get home till like 7, 8, because I just didn't want to go home, because I would go home to an empty house. And
I'm saying this, when Ronan came over, he seen the house. The room you stayed in, Ronan, you was the last person that stayed in the room. And that's before you went to the Philippines. And I be telling my wife, because I tell my wife, like, why we got this? We don't, but we have a room for the one time that somebody might come for 1 week.
For 1 week, yeah.
It'd be cheaper just to put them in a hotel.
Just to put them up in a hotel. Like, hey man, the hotel on us. Hotel on me. And I thought I was gonna have. Well, I knew my brother's ex-wife. I don't think she cared too much for me. But when I bought the house, and I was expecting my mom to come down. I even built a whole nother apartment on the villa for my mom. And when
nobody come.
And when my mom came, she didn't want to stay in it because she was scared. She didn't want to stay in the house because she had this thing. They had that black people. They killing black people in DR. They had that whole thing for a little while. My mom was falling into the fear, but nobody came. My brother came.
How that make you? I'm curious, man. This is just because I'm analyzing you, because I'd be in the same position. How that make you feel Did you doing
let me say this real quick.
all of this? Oh, let me finish this out real quick. Did you doing all of this and it seemed like the people don't care?
People don't care, don't go.
So how you feel? Because I've been in Texas and my brother has never come down here. And he always say this, yeah, man, it's hot. When it get cool, I'm gonna come. Or when me find a good ticket, let me know. Now this brother got money. He flies everywhere else. I'm like, why I gotta find you a good ticket? What's that mean?
If you want to go somewhere, you're gonna buy the ticket, damn it.
Exactly.
But anyway, let me say this. As I advise people in retirement, because that's what I used to do, insurance, financial planning, and retirement. I would tell people, and I had a lot of clients in California before I moved to the Midwest, back to the Midwest. And I would tell a lot of my clients, I said, this $750 million and a half, whatever the value of your house is, sell it. They're like, what? Well, I put all this in for my kids and this and that. I said, I understand you thought this was going to be your dream home. This is really your retirement home. This is your nest egg, right? When you first bought it, you really didn't buy it as your dream home. You bought it as an investment and roomy enough to fit all your kids, right? And I said it for twofold. I said it for two reasons. Sell the house, take the profit from the house, whatever the gains are, move down south, buy something equivalent, if not a little bit smaller, because I'm going to tell you one thing. As a father of 4 sons, they're all grown, they're never going to be in the house all at the same goddamn time with their families and their kids. So you having this big rosy picture of these kids all piling back into your house, it ain't that kind of generation no more. They ain't coming back like that. Sell the house. Take the profit, move down south, buy something smaller, but it's still going to be roomy enough for you and your husband and maybe 1 or 2 kids to come back during alternate holidays, because all of them didn't get along. They were made to get along. Now that they got their freedoms, they don't want to be tolerated or have to tolerate some of the sibling rivalry that goes on. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in your family you ain't want to talk about. You know, so I told them, look, sell that. Use some of it as investment, use up some of it to go travel, but go buy yourself a decent sized house with maybe 1 or 2 extra rooms, make one an office, a workout room, whatever the hell you want to do, and then have 1 or 2 rooms for your kids to come in. Okay, if that's what you want to do, because you're going to get more house down there for less money anyway. Now you got all this extra money beside for your other investments to put into some future investments that you can play around with and your retirement. Right. So some of the advice, they were like, why are you saying this? I knew psychologically, all you're going to do is go into these empty rooms every day. You're paying this huge mortgage, the taxation, and all these other things that you're dealing with. And all that's doing is putting a weight on you still in retirement when you should be having fun. All in the hopes that your children will come home.
But the problem is, Ronan, have you ever heard of the song? It's called Cats in the Cradle.
Yeah, Cats in the Cradle. And yeah, I know
the silver spoon, and it says, I'm going to grow up to be just like you, Dad. I want to be just like you. So for the audience,
we already know. Yeah,
for the audience that doesn't know, this gentleman grew up. I'm sorry, it was a father. And as he was going through, he didn't have the time for his child. The child would say, hey, I want to play, football with you. And the dad's like, well, I got to work, but I can't right now. And he said, Dad, when I grow up, I want to be just like you, Dad. When the dad gets older and now has all the time in the world, he tries to go to his son. And the son's like, hey, I want to hang with you, but I got something to do. And then he goes through his like, I had all these things I want to do with my son. And he says, I realized my son grew up to be just like me. I think those people keep the house in hopes that when they didn't have the time for their children, that now they have the time and they hope that they come back. So it's that mask they put on to say, I wasn't the father or the parents we should have been, and I didn't give them the time, but now I got the time. I'm expecting them
to come on back.
And I thought as my job, to me, explain, because life insurance is really mortality insurance. I'm trying to wake you up to the fact of not only retirement, but financial freedom and your mortality. Your kids, you sitting there hoping is not going to get you any further down the road of your enjoyment in life. So understand you have a mortality rate. And at the end of the day, you need to be aware of it and stop hoping on hope. And start doing some things.
You're trying to fight again. You're trying to have
most of my clients did exactly what I asked them. One dude went so far as to go down to Mexico to Chihuahua, wound up meeting a whole nother woman and got married.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't, because a lot of them in their mind, just like in our older generation, I'm gonna keep this house for my family.
For my
and
family.
my family can come back.
Yeah.
And they don't even want the house.
They don't
In your
even-
mind, you think, oh, this is how I keep my family together. And you know, I'm the glue, that's the mask.
Right.
Y'all didn't realize y'all had all these problems that were masked.
Right.
Right.
And you think when you're gone, this is going to hold them together. And
Everything, yeah, everything's
that's
going
the
to
one
keep them
thing they
together.
gonna
That's
fight
the whole
over,
idea
you know.
behind the trust.
Yeah.
And we can get into financial stuff, but we're not. We're going to stay mental. But yeah,
Fearless, you would
that was
ask
the other
me-
part.
You would ask me how I felt about getting the house out here and nobody coming, right? The first couple of years, I'm thinking everybody gonna come down. My mom's gonna come down, my dad, my brother, and I noticed nobody was coming. And what really kicked me in the ass was seeing my brother go on vacation to different places with his family and not come here. But I knew my brother is I'm not gonna say he's tender, but he's a really don't want to. He'll go along with his whatever his woman says just to kind of keep the peace. And I knew she didn't care for me, so she wasn't getting the boys their passports, and they still. My nephew still haven't. I've been down here for 6 years. My nephew still haven't came to see me, and I stopped. I cut that off. Like I had to go ahead and eat that. Like, yo, you know what? That's them. It's not me. I put the offer out there, and but you know what I'm saying. The other thing is, you got to be a secure. You got to have a secure woman to come here, because your husband is gonna have to put on some sunglasses because he's gonna see some beautiful women, and if you're not secure as a woman, you're not gonna want to come to DR.
But not that. Let me go a little bit further with you, Troy. 'Cause I don't know. Maybe this is what I had to do. It seemed as though I was the person doing something. I remember 2 years ago, I went to DR, and specifically, I went to Zona Colonia. I didn't even have to go down there to get these cigars that my brother had liked one time that I sent. And I'm thinking, I went all the way out of my way. I got these cigars. I got this. I packed them up. I sent them back. And I'm thinking, and this dude ain't never sent me shit.
Nothing.
As much as he went on vacations, it was always like,
yeah.
And it made me realize, am I doing too much for other people when I'm not in their thoughts?
You're not getting
my wife is like,
reciprocated.
why are you going over and beyond?
It's not being reciprocated. I feel you on that, but I'm gonna tell you, don't let their behavior change who you are. You still continue to be that stand-up person. You still continue to be that righteous person, and they know what they're doing. They understand, you know. Hey, man, and if they don't know, they're sociopaths. If you don't recognize the behavior that you're doing, that you're not reciprocating the same treatment. Now, my brother loves me to death, but he tells me why he can't come. Hey, look, man, I got this going on, and I understand. He works hard, and he's been down here. He's came down for a wedding, came over. His girl he gets with these women that are just, I don't know. He's not like me. We different in that aspect. Like I don't.
But let's go beyond your brother. Like you said, your mom.
She came down twice. She came down.
But I'm saying, you said like one that she didn't stay with you, and you thinking, hey, I came down here. I built this not only for me.
Yeah, for everybody.
For everybody to enjoy.
And nobody.
And then you're not enjoying it. Nobody. So how that make you feel? Like you are when you built something and you moved,
right?
Your thought was of everybody else.
Right.
When they did their thing, their thought was not of you.
Nah. I think
how you deal with that.
The first couple of years, it was some depression that set in because I felt alone down here. I felt like, damn, I'm down here by myself. I took this leap, and I wanted to be supported. I wanted to not. Granted, I talk to these people every day, so that's the caveat. It's not like they forgot about me. Our relationship has grown over the phone. Like we're always in constant communication. I communicate more with my brother and my mother now that I'm down here than I did when I was back in the States. Because when I was in the States, I wouldn't even really hear from them. They wouldn't stop by the house or nothing. But they was just like, yo, he's doing his own thing. But I would like to see them. And
not stopping you. I'm just going through it. What does broke feel like? Meaning, there's a lot, and I'm saying this for a lot of people out there when they say, "Oh, man, that's Troy. Troy gonna be all right, man."
Yeah, you'll be all right. They don't know.
And Troy not all right.
No, I'm not. I
That's
would
what I'm
love
saying.
to see my
So how
family
does that person who everybody looks at
that
as the
thinks he
person
got it
who's gonna be
together?
all right when
Well,
he's not all right?
For my family, it's not a problem unless you say it's a problem, right? So if I'm not voicing to them that it's a problem, then it's not a problem. Now I have said to them, like I had to fly my brother out here. I paid for him to come out here. It was his 40th birthday. I paid for him to come out here. For my mom, I had to guilt her into coming out here because she had all these excuses on why she couldn't come out here. Oh, it's far. Like, Mom, you went to California. It's close. It's closer than California. You flew to Cali. This is shorter than Cali. So I had to guilt her. And what I told her to finally get her to come out, I said, Mom, if something had happened to me, I would have never saw you again. Something happens to me down here, I would have never saw you again. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, she said, well, why don't you come? I said, Mom, wouldn't you rather come here than me come on? Let me show you the house. Let me show you what I built down here. And then when I built the apartment, I'm like, when she came down, like, Mom, this apartment is, this is another funny story, because I know I'm going to be the one that take care of my mother. My brother's still working. My mother's getting older. And I built the apartment so she can come down here and it'll be more affordable for me to take care of her down here as opposed to finding a nursing home or getting somebody to come in there and take care of her back home. So she tells my brother, she didn't think he would tell me. And she said, even if I get senile and I don't know what's going on, don't let Troy take me to TR. I said,
wow.
I said, I'm not coming back to take care of you. There's a whole apartment in there for you. And I'm not flying back to sit and take care of you in the house. You can come down here or you're gonna have to go, into the nursing home. Which one is it gonna be? So we'll cross that road when we get there. But it was a little bit of depression I had the first couple of years that I came down. But then I had to remember, I came down here for me.
Yeah.
Not them. It was for me.
I think that's the best thing you said.
Yeah, it was for me, not them. It was because I wanted everybody. That's why if I know what I know now, and I just would have got me a little 1-bedroom joint and saved me a whole hell of a lot of money and got me a nice car and probably. But I bought this big house for everybody to be able to come down and enjoy. Like if something was to happen, everybody can fit in here. Like my brother, my mother and father, my nephew, it's room for everybody now, but nobody wants to come. So, but it's cool. So I had to start enjoying. I was like, all right, you know what? I ain't waiting on them. Let me start enjoying the island, getting out, getting more friends. But you know who did come down here a lot? A lot of my military friends came down, and it's not embarrassing.
But no, how that make you feel in a sense that,
it's like more
like for instance, Rowan has been here,
right?
My brother hasn't. I've had people that came in and stopped. Kanal, him and his family came. My brother hasn't.
Yeah,
so how did it make you feel that your friends?
Trini came by even, didn't he?
Yeah, even Trini came by.
I'm okay with it with my brother because I know our relationship. Like me and him talk every morning, 7:30. I'm getting a call from him, and I know that he has to work. And I know that he's a person that he's like a serial relationship guy. And when he's in a relationship, he compromises a lot to make the relationship work. And I know that the women that he's with, they don't want to hear you going down to DR by yourself. Because my brother he likes women and he's in women's faces. So a lot of it's on him, but even when he came down here for his birthday, it was a problem. I mean, not to put my brother's business out there, but 2 months after he came down here, he was heading towards divorce, and it had nothing to do with him coming down here with some other stuff. But I love my brother, so I'm going to forever give him a pass. And when you love somebody, it's very important that you love them for their flaws too. So my brother's flaw is he's a people pleaser. He wants to please everybody. And instead of him being like, hey, look, I'm going to see my brother, he'd rather just keep the peace and be like, I'm just going to call my brother. I'm gonna call him a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I know if the drop of a dime, if something was to go down, I can call him and I can speak on certain things about how I'm feeling and what's going on. If push came to shove, Fearless, he'll come down here. Like if I say, yo, I need you here, he'll come down here. But I want him to want to come down.
Correct.
See what I'm saying? I want him to be like, him and his babe, they go on a different. This is a new relationship, so he just got divorced and he fell right into another relationship. I would want him to be like, hey, look, man, I got 4 days off. I'm gonna come holler at you. I would love that, but my brother's only been down here 2 times. Once I had to fly him out for his birthday, and the second time he came down with the babe. Somebody was getting married, and he was down here for that. And I've been here for 6 years.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where now
I know.
I eat, like, say even somebody needs money or something or whatever. On loan money here, because I found out that if I loan them money, they don't talk to me anymore because they feel
like I gotta be.
They're avoiding. Yeah, they're avoiding having to pay it back.
Right. And even when it come to my, I have no expectation. Just here, I got this for you. I don't even let him know. I just have I have a monthly cigar thing that I get, and I was just making a video about me down in DR at one of the shops. I just, here you go, man. I don't have to deal with it. I'm doing it because I want. Right. I know we're coming up on 2 hours, so I didn't want it to go too long. So I want to go ahead and give a wrap up. And I want you to go ahead and give us a closing. We talked about a lot of different masks that guys have, a lot of, or just people in general, how we close. Right. So maybe you can talk about, that was the problem. Let's close with a solution.
Well, the solution for having to put on a mask is because when you look in that mirror, there's no mask in that mirror. So you're looking at yourself in that mirror. Focus on trying to carry that image you see in that mirror everywhere you go, and just be yourself. Be secure enough to be yourself, to not worry about what other people are going to think about yourself. And if you're having bad thoughts about yourself that you got to put on a mask, try to change them out with some positive thoughts and some positive things. And also, it's okay to lean on your brothers. I mean, if you don't have anybody to lean on, and you really, really, and this is anybody that's listening to this or watching that, and you really, really need to get in, you can get in contact with me. I'm not hard, and I'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying? If you got, but please know if you got some thoughts about harming yourself, we're going to take it to the next level. And we're going to get you some extra help. But talk to you.
There is a text at the bottom.
Yeah.
That you can text 988. It's going on the banner at the bottom. Also, Troy has a hyperlink in the description of my chat or my channel. So you want to hyperlink into his channel, connect with him via email or whatever, please do. And myself.
Yeah, lean on your brothers, man. Especially if you lean on your brothers. And like I'm gonna walk back with my other thoughts. If you got a spouse and you ain't got nobody to talk to, man, talk to your spouse, man. You know what I mean? It might, because you got to talk to somebody. And you can't keep internalizing things until you pop. So take your mask off. It's going to be a big weight off your shoulder, and walk around with the image that you see in the mirror. And that's what I'm gonna close it with.
All right. So guys, this is just one of many. The new season. We're going to probably have these every other week. If you have any topics you think we can discuss, please put those in the chat or in the comment section. Otherwise, we're going to be trying to get some of these hard core discussions, because we feel that, if we want to be men also need to be able to talk to other men or have some type of therapy session. And maybe at this point, you don't have someone you can talk to, and maybe you're just listening. And so I'd rather you listen, see that other people have problems also, that you're not the only person out there in the world suffering from something. We all suffer from something. And sometimes we just need other people to listen to us or find another way to get by.
Shout out to Charlie Chan for saying, I have a nice shade tree that I go talk to when times get hard. Hey, brother, whatever it takes, just get it out, sound it out.
Whatever works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
as long as it's an imaginary tree, I mean, the tree is real, and you ain't hearing voices coming back at you, bro.
yeah, I got a dog.
Go ahead and
and
let
shit,
that
and my
out.
dog starts talking to me. I'm coming back to the States.
Right. Right. So, normally I would do an after hours brief, but I don't know if anybody's interested in coming on a panel and just discussing some of the things to kind of decompress and get how you felt about the show. But we're not going to do open panels in this room. We'll do them separately so we can box this up and keep it professional, because we don't know what kind of conversations we'll have in panels. So I appreciate everybody coming out tonight and watching the show. I know it's our first relaunch of the show for season 2. Welcome, Troy. We really appreciate a male perspective in the room, a professional male perspective when it comes to clinical psychology and understanding how we think as men, especially somebody who's been in the military, because there's a lot of things that even civilians don't understand. That the fact that the aspect that you have both helps out a lot for some men. So I appreciate you agreeing to come on the show and be a consistent contributor to the show, most definitely. But like I said, keep tuning in. This is a passion of mine for sure. And
It's,
yeah,
it's
go ahead, Troy.
definitely- It's definitely needed because there's really nowhere for us to really talk sometimes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like Phyllis was talking about, our ego gets in the way. And we don't have another thing which is alarming, and I want brothers to be very cognitive of when you do go seek help. There was some sisters, colleagues, former colleagues of mine, I don't know them personally, that were making fun of Black men seeking therapy. So be careful when you're selecting a therapist. Be very careful. Try, like I said, if you gotta get on a waiting list, because there's not a lot of male therapists out there. You gotta get on a waiting list. Get on that waiting list, man. But go talk to somebody. You know what I mean? Go talk to somebody.
So one thing I'm glad is that you see Troy has done therapy, but he also, his life wasn't perfect. He had issues that happened with him. So don't think that everybody got, even the person you're talking to goes through things. It's how they come out on the other end. That's all. Well, guys, man, this has been great.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
Can't wait. We're on Thursday night therapies. So make sure you guys look for us. We shall be back a few Thursdays from now. And until then.
Until we can figure out the right schedule, absolutely. For you gentlemen, because I know both of y'all are busy. I'm retired.
I'm flexible, man. So
am I. I mean, there's one guy that didn't pull 50 different ways of Sunday. He over there with a chest full of fearless. We're both in our relaxed years. I don't know. He's still on high pressure stuff. So
yeah, man, I'm
you know what I mean?
flexible, man. I was here like a half an hour early, making sure I wasn't late, man.
Well, Troy, if you want to join the other after hours brief, and then we can get into some open panel stuff. But like I said, let's keep it separate.
I'm free because I ain't got nothing going on, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna end this one here, and then I'll restart up the after hours brief, and we can kind of go into some open panel stuff.
Okay, I'm on.
And I love you mentally ill people that like to come in here and try to bomb the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mike. I
wouldn't even let him get it out.
Yeah.
You see what happened, right? Banned. Real quick.
I'm not even looking at it.
You're getting banned real fast, bro. But anyway, I already got the live set up. The minute this ends, I'm gonna restart the stream under the new title. All right.
All
right, fellas.
So tune in here in the next 5 minutes. This is a 6-minute video, so in about 8 minutes, we'll be live.
I'm just gonna stay on the studio here, or what are you gonna do? You gonna shoot me up?
No, I'm gonna shoot you another link. All right, no problem. All right. Just check your email. Yeah, email's better.
I got you.
All right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, deuces.
Thursday night. Long week behind you.
set that weight down for a minute. Monday had me fighting. Tuesday wore me thin. Wednesday kept reminding me of the battles deep within. I've been carrying that armor like a second coat of skin. But every man gets tired of pretending he can win. Yeah, pretending he can win. You can run from the mirror. You can hide behind your pride. But the truth keeps knocking, brother, till you finally let it inside. It's Thursday night therapy. Pull up a chair and speak your mind. No judgment at the table, just some truth we came to find. It's Thursday night therapy, where a man can drop his guard. We ain't promising easy answers, we're just talking through the heart. Talking through the heart. Some men lost their money, some men lost their home. Some been surrounded every day and still felt all alone. Some got scars from loving, some got dreams they put away. Some just need another brother to say, man, you'll be okay. But we don't sell you comfort just to make the pain disappear. Sometimes love means telling you what you don't want to hear. So bring your wins and failures, bring the questions you can't shake. A man don't lose his strength by admitting what might break. It's Thursday night therapy. Pull up a chair and speak your mind. No judgment at the table, just some truth we came to find. It's Thursday night therapy, where a man can drop his guard. We ain't promising easy answers, we're just talking through the heart. No slogans, no pretending, no perfect men in this room. Just experience, accountability, perspective, and enough respect to tell each other the truth. I learned a man can be a mountain and still feel the rain. He can carry everybody and still carry pain. Strength ain't never been the silence that keeps tearing you apart. Sometimes strength is sitting down and finally speaking from the heart. things you keep inside. This is Thursday night therapy. Different roads but common stars. Three men talking through the darkness, trying to leave a little wiser than we were. Thursday night, same table, different story. Real men, real conversation. Thursday night.